Your face, your voice, and your entire digital identity can now be hijacked, weaponized, and broadcast globally without a single keystroke of consent. The rapid advancement of AI deepfakes has transformed personal likeness into a highly vulnerable commodity, exposing everyday citizens to unprecedented legal threats. What was once a distant science fiction anxiety is now a pressing daily reality where synthetic media can fabricate crimes, endorse fraudulent scams, or manufacture explicit content using your exact image. This unauthorized digital cloning fundamentally strips away your personal autonomy, leaving you exposed to severe real-world consequences. When a malicious actor synthesizes your voice to bypass a banking security protocol or places your face in a highly compromising video, the immediate damage extends far beyond mere embarrassment. It shatters personal credibility, jeopardizes employment opportunities, and inflicts severe emotional distress, leaving you to untangle a complex web of digital forgery while your reputation burns in real time. The engine driving this widespread exploitation relies on the relentless, silent aggregation of your personal data. Every public profile picture, every 10-second video clip, and every voice note you have ever uploaded serves as raw training data for sophisticated machine learning algorithms. These systems map the precise biometric geometry of your face and the unique acoustic signature of your voice, allowing anyone with basic software and malicious intent to generate hyper-realistic synthetic media in mere minutes. Despite the escalating severity of these digital attacks, victims are immediately confronted by a terrifying reality. The United States currently lacks comprehensive federal legislation specifically targeting the creation of deepfakes. This glaring legislative void means there is no single, unified national law you can invoke to instantly criminalize the unauthorized AI generation of your likeness. Instead, citizens are left navigating a fragmented, heavily outdated legal landscape that was never designed to handle the era of artificial intelligence. The primary legal shield currently available to victims is known as the right of publicity, a doctrine originally established to protect celebrities from unauthorized commercial endorsements. However, this is strictly a state-level protection, creating a chaotic patchwork of enforcement where your legal rights literally change depending on the geographic borders of where you live. While some states offer robust civil protections against the unauthorized commercial use of your image, others provide absolutely no statutory recourse whatsoever. This massive geographic inconsistency creates highly exploitable loopholes for digital bad actors. If a perpetrator in a state with notoriously weak privacy laws generates a deepfake of a victim living in a state with strong protections, jurisdictional nightmares immediately stall any legal retaliation. The internet operates completely without borders, but our current right of publicity frameworks remain trapped within rigid state lines, allowing malicious creators to exploit these jurisdictional blind spots with near absolute impunity. Consider the immediate legal hurdles. When a synthetic video is deployed not for financial gain, but for targeted harassment, revenge, or political sabotage, because many state publicity laws only trigger when an image is used specifically to sell a product or service. Non-commercial deepfakes often slip entirely through this specific legal net. A malicious actor can systematically destroy your reputation just for the thrill of it, and the right of publicity might offer zero protection against the attack. When state publicity rights inevitably fail, victims frequently pivot to existing defamation laws to fight the synthetic media. Defamation requires proving that a false statement of fact was published to a third party and caused tangible harm to your reputation. If an AI-generated video falsely depicts you committing a felony or engaging in abhorrent behavior, it technically constitutes a defamatory publication, opening the door for civil litigation against the creator of the fake. Yet, weaponizing defamation statutes against synthetic media is an incredibly steep and expensive uphill battle. The burden of proof rests entirely on your shoulders, requiring you to legally demonstrate that the content is demonstrably false and that it caused quantifiable financial or reputational damage. Furthermore, you must successfully identify the anonymous creator hiding behind encrypted networks, a monumental task that often requires hiring expensive digital forensics experts just to serve the initial lawsuit. Complicating matters even further is the inevitable clash with the First Amendment of the Constitution. Deepfake creators frequently attempt to shield their malicious actions under the legal guise of parody, satire, or protected political free speech. When a synthetic video is labeled as a joke or social commentary, judges must meticulously weigh your right to privacy against the creator's constitutional right to expression, often resulting in prolonged, draining legal battles that keep the damaging content online. The digital platforms hosting these AI-generated attacks are heavily shielded by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. This foundational internet law generally immunizes tech companies and social media networks from civil liability for the content posted by their independent users. Consequently, you cannot easily sue the massive platform that allowed the deepfake to go viral. You must hunt down the individual creator, leaving the powerful distribution network completely legally insulated from the fallout. The massive disparity between the speed of algorithmic virality and the glacial pace of the justice system constitutes a secondary critical threat to your autonomy. A deepfake can be viewed, shared, and downloaded by 3 million people in a matter of hours, while securing a court order to mandate its removal can take weeks or even months. By the time a judge finally issues a ruling, the digital damage has already been permanently cemented into the public record. Recognizing these glaring vulnerabilities, lawmakers are finally attempting to close the gap with emerging proposals like the No-Fakes Act, currently circulating in the Senate. This proposed legislation aims to establish a definitive federal property right in one's own voice and likeness, effectively standardizing the rules across all 50 states. If successfully passed, it would provide a much-needed unified framework to hold both malicious creators and negligent platforms accountable for unauthorized digital cloning. However, waiting for Congress to pass comprehensive digital rights legislation is not a viable defense strategy for the present moment. Bills routinely languish in committees, face intense lobbying from tech giants, and undergo years of watered-down revisions before ever becoming enforceable law. Your digital identity is actively under threat right now, meaning you must aggressively utilize the imperfect existing legal tools currently available to immediately shield your autonomy from exploitation. One of the most potent immediate weapons you can deploy against deepfakes is federal copyright law. While you do not automatically own the copyright to your physical face, you absolutely own the copyright to any original photograph or video you take of yourself. If a malicious actor scrapes your copyrighted selfie to train their AI or pastes your face into a synthetic video, they have likely committed direct copyright infringement, providing a clear legal avenue for retaliation. To effectively weaponize this specific defense, you must proactively issue Digital Millennium Copyright Act takedown notices. A DMCA notice bypasses the slow court system entirely, forcing internet service providers and social media platforms to immediately remove the infringing content or risk losing their own legal immunity. By aggressively asserting copyright over the underlying source material used to create the fake, you can forcefully and rapidly scrub the synthetic media from the internet. Simultaneously, you must deploy aggressive cease and desist letters to anyone distributing or hosting the unauthorized likeness, even if the original creator remains anonymous. Sending formal legal notices to web hosts, domain registrars, and payment processors associated with the deepfake site can severely disrupt their operations. A well-drafted cease and desist instantly signals that you are actively defending your digital rights, often frightening amateur bad actors and intermediary services into voluntary, immediate compliance. A critical vulnerability in our current digital ecosystem is how easily we unknowingly surrender our likeness rights to the very corporations building these tools. Deeply buried within the sprawling terms of service agreements of major social media platforms and photo editing applications are clauses that grant these companies broad, perpetual licenses to use your uploaded content. By simply clicking agree, you may be legally authorizing these platforms to feed your face directly into their proprietary AI training models. You must systematically audit and revoke these hidden permissions to reclaim your digital borders. Navigate directly to the privacy and data settings of every social platform you use, and explicitly opt out of data scraping and AI training programs. If a platform does not offer a clear, accessible opt-out mechanism, you must seriously weigh the necessity of using that service against the tangible risk of providing free biometric ammunition to their evolving algorithms. In certain jurisdictions, stringent biometric privacy laws offer a powerful secondary legal shield against digital cloning. Statutes like the Biometric Information Privacy Act in Illinois require explicit written consent before any private entity can collect, capture, or store your biometric identifiers, which strictly includes facial geometry and voice prints. Because deepfakes inherently rely on processing this exact biometric data, these specialized privacy laws can trigger massive statutory damages against unauthorized AI developers. To effectively enforce any of these legal rights, you must establish an early warning system for your digital identity. Utilize specialized reverse image search engines and automated alert services to continuously monitor the internet for new instances of your face or name appearing on unrecognized domains. Detecting a deepfake in its absolute infancy, before it achieves unstoppable algorithmic momentum, is critical to successfully containing the spread and executing a rapid legal takedown. The mechanics of digital attribution remain the highest logistical hurdle in this ongoing legal fight. Sophisticated deepfake operators utilize decentralized networks, cryptocurrency payments, and offshore hosting providers to completely obscure their digital footprint and evade law enforcement. When the legal system strictly requires a named defendant to proceed with defamation or right of publicity lawsuits, this deliberate, engineered anonymity can freeze your defense strategy entirely in its tracks. Overcoming this anonymity requires engaging specialized digital forensics as a core component of your legal defense. Cybersecurity professionals can analyze the hidden metadata of synthetic files, trace obfuscated cryptocurrency transactions, and subpoena internet service providers to unmask the individuals hiding behind the keyboard. While this investigative route requires significant resources, identifying the true source of the AI generation is the mandatory first step to serving a lawsuit and seeking financial restitution. The failure to actively defend your likeness carries compounding, devastating consequences for your future. If a deepfake scam utilizing your face successfully defrauds consumers, you may suddenly find yourself subjected to investigations by law enforcement or targeted by angry victims who genuinely believe you are the perpetrator. The immense burden of proving your innocence and clearing your name falls entirely on you, consuming vast amounts of time, money, and psychological energy. Building a comprehensive personal defense protocol means taking decisive action long before the crisis occurs. Register the copyrights for your most prominent public images, lock down your social media privacy settings, and familiarize yourself with the specific right of publicity laws governing your home state. Establishing this robust legal baseline ensures that if your likeness is ever hijacked, you possess the immediate leverage required to force compliance and protect your digital autonomy. The era of synthetic media demands a radical, uncompromising shift in how we protect our personal identities. As the technology continues to exponentially outpace the law, your own vigilance becomes your primary shield against digital exploitation. Exposing the legal vulnerabilities created by AI deepfakes is the vital first step toward reclaiming your rights in a synthetic world. You must remain proactive, demand stronger legislative protections, and aggressively enforce the laws that currently exist. Follow for more legal clarity.